From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this incredible recording, direct and live from Santa Monica, California, we go over the incredible recon that will be passed this coming week in the House of Representatives. It's huge, it's deliciousness, and it's on Mornings. We'll go over the breaking news as the recon is done. And that done deal will be happening as early as tomorrow, if not the day after, but no later than this coming Friday. The latest details with that vote now set, whether the CBO report is ready or not. And those incredible clusters of checks in this recon will pay you about $15,000. Biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. Yes, you're going to get nearly $15,000 of checks across all these incredible programs. I'm going to show you how to get those sums of money. But don't need to wait to the end of this week, because you can start tomorrow getting upwards of $45,000 on average from third stimulus. It's coming on back, and it is still paying, and the average view of this channel getting $45,000. I'll show you how to get that money as well. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that, and then we turn over to fifth stimulus, because guess what? A 5.9% increase of your benefits next year is good, but we're not going to be done there yet. We're going to have more money on top of that, and that is fifth stimulus. Those details and more, plus my commentary about what you need to do to make sure you get to financial independence. It's a big, bold, beautiful morning. I'm excited for you. It's a great day. The weather is beautiful. I'm here. You're here. We got massive sums of money you can get under third stimulus, upwards of $45,000 on average. Fourth stimulus, that's going to be paying you out a lot of checks, about $15,000 of it across all these incredible clusters. And we're still missing bacon? I mean, Lord, still missing the bacon. Well, I guess you can't have everything. It's a big morning's broadcast, and it starts right now. Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope your weather is good where you are. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. Well, the weather is going to be great in the House of Representatives this week because the recon will be done. That vote is happening, and I have the latest details on that vote. It's big. We're done with the House. Congratulations. This week, whether or not we have the CBO report, the great news is that this recon 4 will pay you about $15,000 of checks. Yes, checks to you across all these incredible clusters of checks. You need to get that pen and paper ready, because it's a little bit different than what you see in the past. You need to know how to get this money. You've done it before with this channel. I'm going to show you how to get this money. Get that pen and paper ready. This is not donut land, and this is not real surfing. No, it is real surfing. Then we'll be turning over to third stimulus that's paying out $45,000 across the board. You can get that money starting today, and I'll show you how. And you need to. Student loan debt forgiveness, more debt can be forgiven across the board. The latest details on those numbers as well. And then we turn to fifth stimulus. Boy, we got a big recording. I'm really excited for you across the board. With fifth stimulus coming in next year, those details and why it's so important to see that fifth stimulus money. It's a big day. It's a big, exciting broadcast. I'm excited for you with the incredible slate of programming scheduled for today. This, my friends, is America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. The most comprehensive in this channel, the most comprehensive channel there is in the subject matter, and the most talked about news channel there is right now. Like this video and consider becoming a member to get that incredible newsletter that comes out Monday through Friday that features the big money across the board. Let's go over all the details of what's going to be covered in this video. We're going to go over first fourth stimulus. Then we're going to come back and look at the details of the vote and the details of each of these checks one at a time. So that's where we go over eligibility and things like that. We'll be going over the third stimulus and then back over to fifth stimulus. And here we go. An incredible vote will be passing about recon in this House of Representatives this week. And that recon is huge because across all these clusters of checks, you're going to get about $15,000. This is not checks where you just sort of sit back and eat a donut. You need to know what you're listening to, understand what you're listening to, and take notes of it, because this is money, much like third stimulus. Under third stimulus, I had a viewer named Johnny who tuned into this channel. Started 1 week with zero, got $80,000 from third stimulus because of my recordings, and then turned to his family members the next week and said, I want to tell you what happened with me in LA, and I want you to get that money. They never heard that third stimulus was paying $80,000. Have you heard that fourth stimulus is paying $15,000 somewhere else? No, because no one takes the time to show you this, and you will not hear this really anywhere else. That's what happened with Johnny's own family members. They didn't believe that he got to $80,000. He turned around and he showed them, and that same week they got $50,000 each. This $15,000 is across 3 clusters of checks and several add-ons. Let's go over the status of each of those clusters. When I say front end, it means front end. When I say back end, it means you have to do something. Cluster number 1, they got in their hazard pay back end for my essential workers 1 more year. $4,000 of elder care front end, and then they got money in there for the Pell Grant. $550 checks front end to my college students. They got one of the best provisions that a lot of you are excited about. Home repairs if you're living in a low-income community. Wow, free home repairs. They got it in their front end. They got in there also the CTC, the child tax credit, for 1 more year for my young children in that low-income household, $3,600. And then finally, $12,500 back-end checks for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Wow. There you go. The first add-on comes from Maxine Waters, and it's free money to buy a home. Yeah, you heard me right. You heard me right. I mean, this is just, it's insane. It is so great, and this is one of the most exciting provisions of the Incredible Recon. Free money to buy your first home. Maxine Waters wanted $25,000. It's going to be a little bit less. We're going to see the details. If you want that money, I know you do. Stay with me. It's coming up later in this video. Let's go to the second add-on of checks. Second class of checks. It's getting exciting. They got in there paid family leave. Front end, lots of checks. That's thousands of dollars of checks into your hand. Pre-kindergarten got in there 1 year, and then they got a tax credit back end. And finally, the home repairs. This is weatherize your home. You need to weatherize your home, especially, it's the holiday season. You cannot leave the gate unlocked because the Maserati from Joe Manchin may drive up, and out from inside the Maserati may come all these lobsters. They're there from Mitch's Lobster Fest. Yeah, that's why you weatherize them. Quickly. There we go. The second add-on comes from Bob Casey, the senator from Pennsylvania, and it's huge. It is money for the home health care. This is not a check, but a covered benefit, and he wanted $250 billion of it. It's not a little bit less, but he got it in there, and this is big. This is free home health care if you're a senior or person with disability. Let's go to the third cluster of checks, and it gets to become deliciousness. Here we go. Here are the third cluster of checks. We got free school meals for all. We got cheaper prescription medication, and that's a benefit. Immigration reform, a benefit. Farmers don't know. Free internet. And then workers, and then Medicare. Let's go over the Medicare because there's several provisions there. 1, they got into this House bill the Medicaid gap states. 2, they got in there the hearing aid. They did not get in there the dental vision, and they were lowering the eligibility age for Medicare. That's coming on the Senate side, which brings us to the third add-on, and that is monthly or multiple IRS stimulus checks. It was always a Senate budget where the senators added in there, and it's important to understand that push for that MSC is upon us. As we come out of the House and go in the Senate, this is where you have to step up. This is not the time or place to become donating. Donating means referring to things as sort of automatically comes and just sort of automatically lands. No. Now, what you're going to see in this recording is that I'm also making sure people come back down to reality. Someone on Mornings LA today said $2,000 MSCs for 2 years. I need to buy a new home and a new car. No, that is not what we do on the show. This is not the behind curtain #1 channel. It's not what I do here. We're not having the government buy you a brand new Harley Davidson. That's just not what we're here for. So that was not where we last were. The last talk of how it would work was from the House side and the Senate side. $1,000 a month after the first month, but $2,000, a total of 6 months. That is what it was then. What's important to understand is that everyone is pushing and fighting to remove provisions from this recon and adding provisions to this recon. You're going to see in the second half of this video that some of the provisions I just said are in the recon, they're trying to get them out. Everything that's in the recon, they're trying to get reduced or add something else in there. So you cannot sit back and say, I was promised, I was guaranteed, it was that. There is always a push. It can go down to 1 check, it can go down to no check, it can go back, it can go up to more checks. You need to push. And the 2 C's, the 2 W's, and the 2 S's. Make a promise to yourself. Make a promise to yourself. Get out that calendar. I don't want you to be calling. Get out that calendar. And write down what day you're going to call the 2 S's. Sanders Schumer. The 2 C's. Casey Coons. The 2 W's. Warren Wyden. Then make a promise to yourself what day you're going to call to get rent, utilities, food, and internet under third stimulus coming up later in this video. I want you to get that money, so I want you to give yourself a little bit of time to advocate and a little bit of time to get third stimulus. That's how we do time allocation on this channel. Let's go with the incredible message from the top legislator, this incredible recon, and that message says you need to advocate, especially when you're on the Senate side. They now have a total between the Congressional Senators' offices received more contacts of advocacy from the LA Purple Power than the American petition. There you go. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring of touching stories. Now they have a better understanding what Americans are going through this pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories. And they are the voice of the people in you, LA, as you have become too loud to be ignored. Please continue your encouragement for the continued advocacy as the professional voice you have become. Amen. You need to pick up a phone and advocate, because guess what? We're heading over to the Senate. We're going to be done on the House. It's exciting. This week is going to be an exciting one. If you just have been at the casino all this week and have never left, this is the week to come on back, because this is the week where everything heats up. And guess what? It's heating up on the second half of this video. We're going to go over the incredible breaking news as the vote will be happening this week. The vote to pass that recon out of the House done this week as early as tomorrow, if not no later than Friday, with or without the Congressional Budget Office report, and then those checks. Get that pen and paper ready, because this is an information channel. This is where I give you information to get big sums of money, and I'll show you how to get those money in this second half of this video. Student loan debt forgiveness, we're going to go over that briefly. And then fifth stimulus, because 5.9% of your benefits are going up next year. It's good. It's not enough. I'm going to show you those details and more as we go into a big, bold second half of this video. I'm excited for you. I have big money, including the third stimulus average of $45,000. I'm going to show you how to get it. It's coming up in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now in the second half. of this big Afternoons LA video. We're going to go over the incredible House vote, and away we go. Then we'll be cutting over to the exciting details of what that vote looks like, whether or not we have the Congressional Budget Office report. Then we turn over the exciting details of all these incredible checks across all these clusters across the board. And then the details that come thereafter, those incredible programs. We'll be turning over to student loan debt forgiveness and then over to fifth stimulus. Those details and more. Oh. We sound better, don't we? Did you hear the part where I gave away the Bentley? It sounds a little bit better. You missed the part where I gave away the Bentley, didn't you? So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. You just found the best part of the video where the audio cleared it up. I don't know what's going on. But subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Here we go with the exciting second half of this video, and boy, are we excited for it. I am as well, as it starts right now. Well, here we go with an incredible developing details of a big recon with a vote happening this week. This week, the vote will be happening, the pasture recon out of the House of Representatives, finally. And that recon will pay you a lot of money. What's going on? Nancy Pelosi got a big deal from the moderate Democrats over a week ago that said that the vote on the recon would happen this week. And with that, she was asked again, when in Scotland over the weekend for the climate conference. Well, what about the Congressional Budget Office report? The Congressional Budget Office report is not available. And she said, we're still going to do it even if we don't have the Congressional Budget Office report. The deal that she reached with the moderate Democrats, which include those Democrats that were holdouts, that were Rice, Murphy, Schrader, Case, and Gothenheimer, is that the recon would be voted on whether or not the Congressional Budget Office report is going to be released. The Congressional Budget Office report is not going to be available this next week. So the vote will happen as early as this Monday and as late as this Friday. And we will be done with the House of Representatives. Let's go over those incredible programs. Get that pen and paper ready, because guess what? These programs will pay you on average about $15,000 across the board. Now, what's important for you to understand is that this is an informational channel. Over the last few days, even people said, LATE has helped a lot of people. Absolutely. I've helped people get EIDL, PPP, PUA, LWA, rent, utility, food, internet, mortgage assistance, things like that. What is that all involved? Me showing you information, giving you information on camera, and you applying the information. What's important to understand is that this is what this recon is about. This recon is about taking the information I show you and getting these checks. And some people have become sort of donut-y in the last few days, where they think that everything is sort of automated, and you can't think that way. We've never been that way on this channel. And this is where you have to get that pen and paper ready, because this is where you're going to get the big sums of money. Let's go over 4 stimulus items first, right off the board. They got paid leave and family leave in there, and it's huge, especially if your son or daughter lives with you and you don't work. Why? Paid family leave, medical leave means you have to stay home from work because of the birth of a new child or death or illness. Now, how does that work? How it works is it's a lot of money. $1,700 a week if you make $80,000 or more per year. $800 a week if you make $35,000 or more per year. $400 a week if you make $15,000 or more per year. Well, how many weeks? Up to 4 weeks a year. Yes. So for example, let's say you have to stay at home from work because your son is sick. Or let's say you don't work, but your son or daughter lives with you and they have to stay home from work to take you to the doctor. They'll get paid these checks. So it's a benefit also to your son or daughter if they live with you and they're taking care of you and you are part of their household. Very, very important for you to learn this information and share it with your son or daughter if they are in your household. The great news is that 4 weeks is a lot of money. 4 weeks times $1,700, that's $5,000 to $6,000. And the big news is that it qualifies for everyone. All income levels and all types of workers, W-2 and 1099s. There you go. That is paid leave and family leave. The next one that got in there is SALT. And SALT is a great thing that Americans don't often know about. When you go to pay your state taxes, you pay certain amount of state taxes, presumably, and your state taxes, let's say, are $15,000. Well, guess what? You can then take that money and go over to the federal tax return and deduct it, but there's a problem. You can only deduct up to $10,000 under the 2017 Trump tax code. So, the SALT provision added by Gothenheimer and the moderate Democrats is huge, especially for people in those big states like New York and New Jersey. You will now be able to deduct $72,500 under this incredible recon. They got $40 billion of job training in this recon, free. So if you're a senior and you want to you're sort of bored and you want to take a part-time job, well, under fifth stimulus, they're going to allow you to get back to work if you want to and still stay on benefits. Trust me, they're going to get that pass. And then you'll be able to now get free job training as well. Incredible. So what else is in this recon? The Medicaid gap fix. They're going to provide Medicaid gap fixes to those Republican governor states. There are 12 states where the governors are Republican, and they refuse to pay for Obamacare. So now the Democrats have done a workaround plan in this recon that'll offer years of subsidized private insurance to low-income people in those states. Then they got in there the housing assistance. Okay, so now we get to where fourth stimulus and third stimulus overlap. In this fourth stimulus recon, there's $150 billion for programs which include rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and things like that. But that money is available right now under third stimulus. Let's back up a step. A year ago this week, we were looking at second stimulus, and we knew that there was no second stimulus check yet coming. It eventually never came in 2020, and it was eventually did come in early 2021, $600. The problem at hand was people had bills, and those bills were piling up, and they couldn't afford to pay them. And what were those bills? Rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. I showed viewers how to get $250,000 of these bills paid a year ago this week. Then, when third stimulus rolled around in January of this year, I said as soon as it becomes law, they're going to repeat these programs. So if you've done them with me before, you're going to know how to pounce and get them as a purple hawk. Hawk, hawk. And first come, first serve. And they did. Viewers got these sums of money in the spring, and then in the fall, and then the winter. But here is sort of a mixture of commentary and also analysis starting right now. There are some people who have been jumping into some of the comments and saying, I really need an MSC to pay my rent. I really need an MSC to pay my utilities or my water bill. Hold up. That's not what the MSC is for. You already have third stimulus to pay for your rent, your utilities, your mortgage assistance, and similar under third stimulus. And the important thing to understand is that there's 6 places to reach out to. Those 6 places have different eligibility, different pots of money. You do not have to be behind on rent, and you can get this paid. Let's go over these incredible sums of money starting right now, and we're going to start with the rent. Rent you can get paid right this week from third stimulus, and the average number of rent that viewers were getting 3 months ago was this: $20,000 to $30,000 of rent. The rent numbers have gone up higher since then. Viewers are now getting upwards of $40,000 for rent right now. And if you've gotten rent before in the show, you can get another round. If you've never gotten rent, you can get it as well today. How do you get the rent? Here are the 6 places you reach out to. Each place has different eligibility. They have different pots of money. If one says no, you reach out to another. Do not reach out to one and call it a day. You reach out to all 6. They are City Hall, City House Authority, County Hall, County House Authority, State Hall, and State House Authority. Keywords you say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. If you are a very, very, very rare circumstance in which you've reached out to all 6 and all 6 said you're not eligible, then reach out to the nonprofits. These are all featured in the newsletter from members. The new nonprofits are United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, and Catholic Charities. Under all circumstances, you should be making at least 6 calls, and if you're in the rare circumstance, then you're making 11 calls. What's important to understand about rent is that you can get rent from multiple places. You don't have to get it from just one. You can get multiple rounds of rent, and you should apply for rent in multiple places. You shouldn't just apply in one place and call it a day. Next, you want to get your utility bills paid. As many utility bills as you have. If you have 5 utilities, get all 5 paid. These were the numbers in the summer. They've gone up more than since then, upwards of $15,000 for many viewers. The new CPI number released this week, Consumer Price Index numbers, showed that heating oil went up 59% since last year. So get ready for big utility bills coming up in a few months. You want these utility bills paid right now, and go get them paid. Next, you want to get money for food. That's SNAP. Get it. Contact Department of Agriculture tomorrow. SNAP is money for food. It's the biggest legacy I'll leave with this channel. I've gotten viewers upwards of $25,000 a year for SNAP. They're going to be getting $250,000 over 10 years because of my recordings, like Mark's brother-in-law. SNAP is money for food. Get it right today. Finally, get combo items. Get multiple items. 2, 3, 4 items. Here is the 3-item people, and here is what Lorraine had. She's now at $120,000 since this recording. Here's what Mark was at. He is now at $100,000. What's important to understand is I can tell you how to get the money. I can show you how to get the money, but I can't make the phone call for you. Do not sit back and say, I'm not eligible. Untrue. Do not say, I called one place and they said, tough luck. Well, then you're not making the effort. Do that. Take that calendar out and do one day for Coons, Casey, Warren, Sanders, the 2 S's, the 2 W's, and the 2 C's, and then give yourself a day to call to get that money for these items and continue to get it. We have Margaret, who constantly gets a few $100s every few days for different items like rent or utilities. We have Mark, who keeps on going back and getting other sums of money. And we have Johnny, who started a week with 0 and ended the week with 80,000 by getting 7 items approved, some in the same subject matter, but in different places in just 1 week. This is money you can get right now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, which brings us back over to forced stimulus. The money of those items is repeated in forced stimulus. So you don't want to wait to get forced stimulus law. You want to get it right now. So what else is in this housing of forced stimulus? Also in the housing for forced stimulus is the money for the first-time home purchases, the weatherize your home, and also the home repairs. Great provisions across the board. So let's go over them. The first-time home purchases are huge. First, one viewer said married, now single. I don't know. We'll have to see the definition of first. Home, single family. One viewer said brick and mortar. I don't think it has to be brick and mortar. And then low income or not low income. We don't think there's a low income qualificator at the moment. We'll see. Home repairs, that is low income. All home repairs, not necessarily all. We'll see how it works, and it's a grant, upfront money. And then the weatherizing your home, absolutely. That's all homes, but that's only for weatherizing. Then let's move on to other provisions. They got that home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. Then they got the $550 check for my college students on the Pell Grant right now. They got $12,500 back-end checks for the purchase price of a new electric vehicle, and that is from a union shop like Chrysler, GM, or Ford and their subsidiaries. Finally, $65 checks per month when that child is not in school for food. One of the best provisions in Credible Recon is this provision that they got done, the cheaper medication. Medication was a big problem, and the big winner, Joseph Biden. 2 weeks ago, he got Kristen an email on the phone on Wednesday night saying, you got to do it, and she did it. Now she's blessed the entire recon. What's at issue? You look at prescription medication, the most expensive, like diabetes, arthritis, cancer, and some of the medications are a lot of money. I asked viewers last Saturday, how much you're paying for an insulin dose if you're on Medicare? Mark's wife, $900. Another viewer said maybe it's $900 a month. Either way, it's a lot of money. It will now be $35 a dose. What did they do? Let's go over the details. For 20 plus years, Medicare was unable to negotiate any prices because of the way they were established. For 20 years, there were 15 paid lobbyists that were blocking any change of this paid by Big Pharma. So the big negotiated deal is the following. 20 medications immediately when this becomes law will be slashed dramatically due to good faith negotiations between Medicare and Big Pharma. And then it'll grow to 30 medications by 2028. The rise of prices per year will be tied to inflation. And this is a big, massive win. Praises came in from Chuck Schumer, says he's going to do more next year. Scott Peters says this is really good for seniors, and there you go. What is the Senate parliamentarian going to likely do this coming week? Senate parliamentarian is a government official who looks at a recon and says, this provision belongs there, this provision doesn't belong there. And what is that Senate parliamentarian going to do? She is going to look at several provisions. First, immigration reform, likely to come out. She has said before it does not belong in there. Then there's a push to take paid leave out. I don't know the fate of that one. Prescription medication. This is new on Mornings LA. The prescription medication has a provision in there that if Big Pharma tries to raise the prices more than inflation per year under this agreement, they can be penalized. The penalization provision, they think that does not belong by by recon. Finally, the Republicans are now saying, like Toomey, that they're going to invoke the Senate parliamentarian wherever they can if they think some provision does not belong by recon. What's happening when we land the Senate by the end of this week? A lot of changes to the recon that'll bring the prices up higher. So you're seeing about $15,000 just to start, more items across the board. And that's why Bernie Sanders said it's a great bill, but it needs to be better. Big missing gaps. He's going to do a lot of provisions. As Ron Wyden, he's adding stuff in there. Chuck Schumer, waiting for that vote-a-rama. And then we have other senators like Coons and also Stable now and Murphy all ready to make changes. So, are you ready with your pen and paper? Get that pen and paper ready because we're going to go over some of the more of those checks right now. Universal pre-kindergarten for 1 year, front end check, totally free. Child care money, back end check. Then the child tax, the CTC, $3,600, $3,000 front end 1 year. Earned income tax credit for my essential workers, back end 1 year. The home health care, covered benefit, not a check. The Medicare, the hearing aid, likely a check for that one. We went over the home repairs, Pell Grant, $550, and then the $65 per month for the students. What are the provisions that Bernie is going to add to this recon? The provisions that Bernie will add to this recon, in addition to the push for the MSC, is dental, vision, and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. This is one of many provisions you're going to see during the Senate changes. So let's go over each of them. First, current Medicare eligibility age is 65. Bob Casey wants it 60. Bernie wants it 55. Next, dental and vision. Dental is last in this recon at an $850 check per year for my seniors on Medicare. It came out. Bernie wanted 10-year full benefits. Then it was reduced to 3 years full benefits. It was reduced to $815. I don't like $850 because it's just a cleaning. Doesn't really cover big procedures, nor does Bernie. Let's see what happens with that. Which brings us then to vision. Eye exam and a pair of frames per year Bernie wants. Eye exam Costco is about $50. The frames about $100, which caused a big frame war in the live chat the last few days. If you missed the hysterical frame war, one person was in the live chat said, my daughter buys me $450 frames. That's what Medicare should pay for. No. Medicare does not bankroll Fendi. It's Medicare, not the House of Gucci. It's Cartier, not Coons or Casey. No, even the owl in that commercial about the eyeglasses thinks that number is crazy. So no, they are not paying you $500 a frame. But I appreciate all the warring words that people are going over frame wars in the live chat. Some of the things that don't add up. I show that child tax credit $60,000 or less per year earned eligibility. The housing aid, I show more money than that. They were showing $150. I showed $175, and then home health care, I showed a little bit more than that, $200 billion. I'll have more about that with my commentary coming up in a second. It's a big one. Don't miss it. But first, let's turn over to student loan debt. More student loan debt could be forgiven across the board, and that student loan debt is huge. Democrats have an offer, and they should take it. I don't know what they're doing. The offer is $10,000 of student loan debt to be forgiven. They should just take it. Does not close it out. Just take that for now. President's forgiven student loan debts for people who became disabled, people who went to work in the nonprofit, and people who went to work in the public sector. Democrats should take the $10,000. Then, fifth stimulus. Been getting a lot of very, very fascinating, elaborate questions about this. Okay, so first people are asking me, what is this COLA? How does this work? Okay, your benefit check is going up next year 5.9% starting January 1st. And so someone said, how does that work? I'm not a calculator. Neither is Larry Kudlow. But if you get a $100 check every month, you're going to get $105.90 now per month. So it's going to go up $6 for every $100 you get per month. That is COLA. COLA is the current law, and COLA is horrible. It's been around for many, many years, and this is the problem at hand for people on benefits. Why? COLA doesn't move. 2 years before the pandemic, price of goods were going up, and COLA wasn't moving. Then the pandemic hit, and COLA didn't move again. Now inflation is going very high, and now COLA is 5.9%. Okay, but you're still behind from pre-pandemic levels. So they want to first raise your benefits up in one big time, then apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation, and they would apply that in December 2022 and every December thereafter. And they want to remove the asset cap and remove the income cap and remove the marriage penalty. Remember, if you get one lift up, once you lift up, you never step down. So you're going to get 3 potential lift ups in less than 1 year. Finally, if you haven't become a member, what are you doing? The membership link is under the video. Become a member to get that incredible newsletter. It comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system and the membership alert system, and the alert system of LALATE news alerts, which is totally free. That is also under the video. That newsletter features all the big money under 4 stimulus for you to get when it becomes law, some of the items. But really, the most important part is the third stimulus money. Big sums of money available in the third stimulus. It shows you the 6 places to reach out to, the 5 nonprofits, the Treasury statement, everything you need to go to get those incredible sums of money. And that's a perfect segue as we go into my commentary on this big morning's broadcast. And it starts right now. Refocusing, focusing, staying on point. This channel was launched for me to provide information and for you to take that information and apply it. And I've covered EIDL, a complicated process, PPP, complicated process, PUA, LWA, also then rent, utilities, food, internet, and all these other items all involved you taking the information, digesting it, understanding it, and then applying it, whether it's on the phone or on a website, and going and getting the money. In the last few days, there's been a little bit too much of donity, and the donity is troubling in 2 different regards. I've seen 2 different versions of donity. The donity is people just assuming things are automatic. First, there was someone in the live chat this morning that said, we really need that MSC, 2 years, $2,000 a month, $36,000 of stimulus of MSCs because I need to buy a new home and a car. Actually said it with straight face. I just can't imagine the person saying that with straight face. God bless you, but that's not what we do here. And this is not this. This is not this country. Country is not buying people brand new cars and brand new houses at $36,000. And I don't know how you buy a house with $36,000 either, but that's beyond the point. The government is not sending out 2 years of MSCs. I mean, it's just wacko. And I don't know why I'm seeing some comments go that direction. Now, let's bring it in a little bit. Then we're also seeing people who literally have somehow lulled themselves into an idea that they don't anything. What is this? For example, they either have never picked up the phone and asked for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. They've never picked up the phone ever. Or they heard it from a friend, they don't qualify. Or they picked up the phone and called one place, and that one place said, sorry, ma'am, you don't qualify. And then they put up their hands and say, I don't qualify for anything under third stimulus. Oh, I can't make the phone call for you, folks. I can't make the phone call for you. But if you want to lull yourself into that fake narrative, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Tough love moment coming on now. I don't know when the reality will set in. But if you really do need your utility bill paid and the electrics are going to get turned off and you did not make the phone call to the 6 places I feature on this channel, then that's when the reality is going to kick in. If you are literally making one phone call and calling it a day and ending it there, it's deeply troubling. When I feature Johnny on this channel, I feature him for a reason. When I feature Mark, I feature him for a reason. What did Johnny do? Johnny started this week with not this week, but a week on this channel about a month ago, $0. End of the week, he got $80,000 from this channel. What did he do? He did not make one phone call. He did not make 5 phone calls. He did not make 7 phone calls. He had to have at least made it 12 phone calls in a week. How many items did he get paid for? 7. Did he get rent in just one place? No. Let's go over rent, for example. This is what you don't do. Pick up the phone, call, and hear a no. Okay, I'm done. I got one person on the phone from my city, says, doesn't know what I'm talking about. There is nothing. I don't qualify. I'm not behind on my rent. I don't qualify. Thank you. There's no help in the state of Alabama. Thank you. That is fake, false. And if you want to sort of self-convince yourself into that false narrative, okay, but it's going to come back to bite you because everyone's telling you it is untrue. Now, here's a lesser version of that. Found a place to apply, applied for the rent, and is waiting now for 2 months for the application to be processed. That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. You apply for rent in every place you can find. So if you can find 5 places to pay for rent, you apply at 5 places. Johnny, Mark, and all these other people, they got rent in multiple places. They got rent in one place, they got rent in another place to pay them. So you don't apply at one place and call it a day and say, okay, I apply at one place. I haven't heard back from them. It's been 3 months. No, that doesn't cut it. You need to apply everywhere. When we look at utilities and food, these are items under third stimulus that are available for you to get today. And a few days ago, I reached out to one of the volunteers who's in the live chat right now. And I said, how many requests are you getting per day to help you find these monies? Because the volunteers usually get about 16 requests per day on a normal day to help find rent, utilities, mortgages, and food. The volunteer said no one in 3 days had reached out to him. And this was one of our most trafficked days on this channel in several months, and got no one reach out to that volunteer for 3 days to help them. This is deeply troubling. This is deeply troubling. Now, at the same time, anyone that has taken themselves and lulled themselves into a narrative that says, I don't qualify for anything under third stimulus, so I really need an MSC, or I don't qualify for anything under fourth stimulus because that's why I need an MSC. It's a fake narrative. It's a fake narrative. You either do qualify and you're not making the effort to learn, or you don't want to make the effort to learn, that you do know you qualify, but you don't want to make the effort to learn. MSCs are great instruments. It's a great instrument, but it's not a reason for you to not learn the other money in this recon. You learn the money under third stimulus. You got $45,000 on average from this channel under third stimulus. You got huge sums of money. Many viewers got $80,000, $90,000, $120,000. Viewers have gotten fortunes for rent on this channel since last year. But in the last few weeks, some people sort of lulled themselves into the strange narrative of, I don't unless MSC. It needs to back itself up a little bit. What's important to understand is that you need to continue to advocate for MSC, but you also need to continue to advocate for your wallet, which is picking up the phone and getting these sums of money under rent, utilities, mortgage assistance right now. If you look at your bills in a given day or a given month, you may have 20 bills. You may have 15 bills. Guess what? Of all those bills, I can get almost all of them paid under the nonprofits and third stimulus, with the exception of the car. I have had viewers get their medical bills paid by the nonprofits. I've had viewers get small appliances like portable heaters and furnaces, internet assistance from the nonprofits or from third stimulus. And what have I not been able to get from third or the nonprofits? Big home repairs. Never been able to get big home repairs. That's fourth stimulus. And never been able to get car repairs. But other than that, if you can get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bills in a given month paid for this channel, get them today. Get them today. If you're sitting back and waiting for an event to happen in the future from the Senate under fourth stimulus recon to pay a bill that is available to be paid under third stimulus, you are doing yourself a very, very bad disservice, because the money is available right there, right now. And you need to make the effort. You've made the effort by advocating. You've called the 2 C's, the 2 W's, and 2 S's perhaps this week. Then schedule another day to pick up the phone and call these other sums of money. If you've made the effort to get this money and have gotten this money before, you can get another round as well. Margaret is really the best example. She just gets a few $100s every few days. $400 here, $300 there. Financial independence starts here. And what's important to understand is that somehow in the last few days, there's been this sort of runaway obsession with one instrument and one instrument only, to the extent that it is now negatively impairing your ability to get money under third stimulus. That's when it gets bad. That's when it goes the wrong direction. The obsession with MSC to the extent that you do not get rent and utilities and mortgages available to be paid for now under third stimulus is a distractor. So do not use your interest in one instrument as a way not to get money from other instruments. There's a lot of money to get from all these credible items, and never say, I'm only going to focus on one item. I'm not going to get the other money. Remember, we're cashing checks here, not tracking checks. Continue to advocate for those MSCs, but also continue to pick up the phone and get these sums of money for rent, utility, mortgages. If you have questions about rent or utilities or any of these incredible programs, they're elaborate or detailed, send them to me or to the volunteers and we'll answer them as well. Join me next on Noontime LA, which is coming up right after this. It's 11 a.m. And then we got the 1 o'clock afternoon show. We got a big 3 o'clock afternoon show later today as well. Sorry about the audio problem early in this video. Not particularly clear why it happened again. But with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful day, and see you next on Noontime.